Rayan Cherki must start for Manchester City. There is no negotiations we can have about it at this point. Rayan Cherki needs to be getting more minutes than what we have been seeing in the last few games, and it is incredibly frustrating watching matches of football, having our wide players not really creating much over the span of the game. Rayan Cherki coming on for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 14 minutes today, and creating more chances in the small spells of the games that he's getting than the players that have played the entire game. And I feel like today, Pep Guardiola did not bring on Rayan Cherki early enough in the game. To give Cherki 14 minutes to change the game, it's just nowhere near enough for me today. And it's just getting ridiculous at this point. And don't get me wrong, I understood why Pep Guardiola has been taking it slow with Rayan Cherki since he's come back from injury. He had a muscular injury. He didn't want to risk Cherki coming out of the side for more minutes than we have to. No. And look, I am one of these people that understand why Pep Guardiola has done what he's done so far with Rayan Cherki since he's come back from injury, right? The last couple of games, I can understand to an extent because he's bringing him back from a muscular injury. He doesn't want Cherki to get injured for a sustainable period of time, so therefore he's easing him back in. Today was the time. If not start him, you've got to give him more minutes. And I just think that we brought him on so late in the game. To give him 14 minutes is just a joke, in my opinion, to try and turn the game around. We had to at least try and give him 30 minutes. You know, he clearly can and is capable of playing 30 minutes at the moment. And he is Manchester City's most effective player other than Erling Haaland in this team, at least from what we have seen so far. If you look at the statistics from the game today, Savinho played the majority of the game. He created 0 chances across the entire game. 0. Oscar Bob created 1 chance. Rayan Cherki came on for 14 minutes and created 1 chance. So he did more than Savinho, and he did just as much as Oscar Bob in 14 minutes. In the 2 games prior, when he came on for 4 and 5 minutes respectively in the games, he created more chances than the other wingers in that small amount of time that he had on the pitch. And it's just getting to the point now where we need Rayan Cherki in this team, especially against teams like Aston Villa away from home, a tough away game, even the big teams. We need someone like Rayan Cherki who can unlock a defense, can create a moment out of absolutely nothing. And you look at the statistics from this season, Rayan Cherki has created 3 chances per 90 minutes. The only player that has really close to that in the Manchester City squad is Jeremy Doku, who actually equals that with 3 chances created per 90 minutes. So Rayan Cherki and Jeremy Doku are respectively the most creative players in this Manchester City side. And I just feel like he's not getting enough minutes at the moment. And going forward, we need Rayan Cherki in this team. He is the player, alongside Phil Foden in there, that is going to be creating us the most chances. And we need that link-up of Foden, Cherki, Doku, Haaland, add Marmoush in there. We need players like that so we have killers in that final third. Because at the moment, what we're seeing from players like Savinho, like Bob, even Doku at times, they are not clinical enough. When they get into those moments in the final third, they don't make the right decisions. Oscar Bob got into a few really good positions today, didn't do enough when he got in there. And someone like Cherki is going to make the difference when he gets into those positions. And in games like the Villa game today, those moments are key. You need to take advantage of the opportunities when they come to you. And I just feel like at the moment, we are really passive in the final third. We make a lot of mistakes. We don't execute our plays clinically, and because of that we get punished. And you know, we don't get me wrong, we've been on a 9-game unbeaten streak. I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom, but I'm talking about the margins of being a top team competing for the best silverware. If we want to do that this season, we need to play Cherki more. And for me personally, I would play him in the Swansea game. I would start him, I'd give him 60 minutes out, and then I would bring him off after 60 minutes because I think that we want to have him starting for the Bournemouth game, and then we got some tough games coming up after that, which we want him to be fit and available for and starting in. So I think that that's how we need to manage Cherki, and we need to start integrating him into this side as a starter, because the difference that he makes creatively in this Manchester City side is chalk and cheese. And I am sick, if I'm being completely honest, of watching winger pairings of Doku Savinho, Savinho Bob, Bob Doku. Like, don't get me wrong, Doku is probably a level above the other two in terms of actually affecting games in the final third, but even he can have his moments. But the other two, they're just a little bit passive for me, and I'm not saying they're bad players, but they don't have that clinical edge yet. They're both very young, they're both very inexperienced at top level football. We need to give them time. But in the meantime, we need players who are going to be clinical in the final third for the now. And Rayan Cherki is one of them. So is Omar Marmoush. He's another one of them as well, who I think needs to start being integrated into this side since he's come back from injury a lot more now as well. Because I think we'll get punished. I really do. I think we'll get punished if we continue to go with these wingers who are not putting up the numbers. And it's going to cost us because we can't keep relying on Erling Haaland to score all of the goals. We can't keep on relying on Erling Haaland to make chances out of nothing. Like against Brentford, Vardiol just kind of hoofs the ball into a channel. Erling Haaland makes it a big chance. He makes it a great opportunity to score. We need to give Erling Haaland more because I feel like this season it's been too focused on Erling Haaland. And don't get me wrong, I think Phil Foden's done a good job whenever he's played. Again, today, very creative. 7 chances in the game overall he created. He is the one player for Manchester City today which I can walk off that pitch thinking, I did enough. The rest of them, not really too sure, especially in the forward players. But I just think Rayan Cherki needs to start more games going forward. I'm getting incredibly frustrated. He's got so much talent. You can see it. Just that little moment of magic where he drops a shoulder, beats a player, pulls off a little bit of skill, tries a ball in behind. It's not all going to pay off. We saw that with Kevin De Bruyne when he played. And I'm not comparing Rayan Cherki to Kevin De Bruyne because they are very different players. But Kevin De Bruyne would play passes all of the time. He would try and play those passes through the lines. He would try and create things. And when you create things, you give the ball away sometimes. Rayan Cherki will be one of those players where he's going to try things. He's going to try and make things happen. And we ultimately need that. We've got too many safe players in this team at the moment. We need someone who's going to try and take risks, is going to try and create things. Cherki is that guy. And I think that if we want to be successful going forward, if we want to get the best out of this Manchester City side, if we want to make a fist for the Premier League title against Arsenal, if we want to try and compete in the Champions League, go deep, we need a player like Cherki in this team consistently. We need to get him and Erling Haaland a relationship where Erling Haaland knows exactly where Cherki's going to be putting the ball, and that relationship begins to grow because I genuinely believe this Manchester City team has the components to be a serious team this season. I really do think so. Cherki, Foden, Haaland, Doku, and Marmoush are all serious footballers, but we need them in the team. We need them to start games. I love Oscar Bob. I love Savinho. I think they're great players or great future players. But in the right now, making decisions in the final third, in key, crucial games for Manchester City, a Manchester City side which isn't fully functioning at its free-flowing best, we need players like Cherki, Marmoush, killers in the final third. And I'm just getting incredibly frustrated. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think a lot of people are going to agree with me because I think there's quite a few Man City fans right now that are pleading for Cherki to play more. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But for me, Cherki has to play going forward for Manchester City. He needs to start games. Swansea, we get him the minutes, those valuable minutes to be able to build up his fitness. And then he starts against Bournemouth because Bournemouth is no easy game. And we're going to need Cherki to be able to carve them open. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But for me, Cherki has to play more because he is an absolute superstar waiting in the wings to rip up the Premier League. I truly do believe that.